show you how to make a rocket ship. You're going to need a paper towel roll and 2 toilet paper rolls. If you don't have a paper towel roll, you can take 2 more toilet paper rolls and tape them together. You also need either hot glue or liquid glue. I prefer the hot glue because it goes faster. And then I also like to use my little stapler to make it go faster. But if you have the time, you can use liquid glue. Or if you have hot glue, you can use hot glue. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of construction paper or colored paper. I'm going to use the same colors for my body of my rocket and my blasters. Or you could use 2 different colors. And then we're going to need some red and yellow. If you have gift wrapping tissue paper to stuff bags with of yellow and red, that would work even better. Or if you don't have this color at all, you could just paint pieces of white paper in the color of red and yellow. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is cover our paper towel roll with our construction paper. We're going to do this by putting the long ways together and rolling it to cover it. Now this is where I like to use the stapler because it goes really fast. Or you could put liquid glue and hold it with some clothespins till it dries. Or you could use the hot glue. But I like the stapler because I feel like it's fast and easy. So I just staple it on the end and staple it on the other end. Step is we want to cover our 2 pieces of toilet paper. What I have found to get the perfect size is you fold your construction paper in half, long ways, and then you fold it again, long ways. And what this does is it creates, what this does is when you open it up, it makes these smaller rectangles. And we are going to use our scissors to cut out these small rectangles. And these are going to be the perfect size to wrap around the toilet paper. What we're going to do now is we're going to take them this way. So you're going to line it up like this, and you're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to roll it. And see, they're the perfect size. Now you can either staple it, like I said, or you can put the liquid glue or the hot glue.
Got the pencil wet.
And we're going to staple both sides just like before. And we're going to do this for both of them. Next step is to attach our little rocket blasters onto the body of the rocket. I like to do it about here because then we're going to add flames and it's going to have more of an effect, I think, when you do it a little higher. But if you want to do it all the way at the bottom, that's fine. I like to use the hot glue for this because it dries so much faster. And I do it right on that seam to kind of try to cover it up some more. And just attach it right there. And now I'll show you how to make the cones. Now to make the cones, what I like to do is take a solo cup, and this round top makes a perfect shaped circle that I need. So I'll place it on one of my scrap pieces and trace it. And you're actually gonna need at least 1 more piece of paper. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some of my flame paper because it'll make a little contrast. So I need 3 cones in all. So I have 1 circle, 2 circles, and I'm gonna use some of my flame paper to make 1 more circle. And then we're gonna wanna cut these circles out, and I'll show you how to turn them into cones. To make the cone, what we wanna do is we wanna find the middle of our circle and we can mark it because that's where we're gonna be cutting to, right to the middle. Now what we need to do is we're going to cut a straight line to that circle and stop. Again, we're going to cut a straight line to this little dot and stop for each of our circles. And then I'll show you how to wrap it into a cone. Turn the circle into a cone, we're going to curve it on itself. And we're gonna twist it around until it's a nice cone. And you can kind of test it to see how big you want it to be. If you want it to hang over the edge, you can. Or if you want to make it smaller so that it matches up nicer, you can. And then this is when I really like to use the stapler because I feel like it won't uncurl on itself. But if you have a hot glue gun, that will work. If you don't have that and you only have liquid glue, you're gonna need to use a clothespin to keep it shut while it dries. But I have one cone. So again, we're going to curl it on top of itself until we get it to be about the right size. I find if it matches up, like the two ends match up, it's usually a pretty good size. And then I'm going to staple it so it doesn't uncurl. And one more last cone, I'm going to twist around. See that motion? We're just twisting it on top of itself until we get it as small as we want the cone's base to be. And if this were a 3D cone, we would have a face right there. But we don't really need a face because we're going to be gluing it onto a rocket ship. So you can hot glue it or liquid glue it. I'm going to hot glue because I want it to dry faster. Part to add, I think, is my favorite. We're going to be making flames. So it doesn't really matter the exact size, but I like to cut this kind of in half. And then you're just gonna cut these kind of like zigzag waves into the paper. And they don't have to be perfect. We want them funky because what we're gonna do is we're gonna crumple it. And then what's gonna happen is these are going to be the flames of the rocket. So we're going to be gluing these into the bottom of our rocket ship. And we're gonna need to have the red and yellow. If you have orange, that would be really cool too. But you're going to be putting the glue. I'm going to use the hot glue, so moms and dads might have to help if you're using hot glue at this point too, because it might get on your fingers pushing it. Or you could use liquid glue. But you're going to be putting it on the inside of these bottoms. The thing is, you can keep adding flames. Like I said, you could add orange colored flames. You could have more yellow, more red, and you can even write your name of your rocket ship here. Or if you have any letter stickers, you can stick them on. My daughter made a rocket ship named Princess Blackwell Knight, and my son made one called Batman. So you can make up your own name for your rocket ship. And I want you guys to keep your ears peeled for a real rocket launch that's going to be happening in May. And you could make this and you could watch the rocket launch. That's my cool rocket ship. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. Send me a picture or video if you make it.